You paying too much for your GLP-1 medication, whether it be Mounjaro, Ozempic, Zepbound, Wegovy? Are you happy with the price you're paying? Do you think you should be paying less? Well, we're still talking about the price increase that just went in, would start September 1st for residents of the United Kingdom. And we've got a report that came back in a letter from Eli Lilly. And what they're saying basically is that they need to raise the prices in other countries in order to lower them in the United States. They say a statement from Lilly says, "We support the administration's goal of keeping the United States the world's leading destination for biopharmaceutical research and manufacturing, and the objective of a more fairly sharing of costs of breakthrough medical research across developed countries. This rebalancing may be difficult, but it means the prices for medicines paid by governments and health systems need to increase with other developed markets like Europe in order to make them lower in the United States." Now, my understanding is the increases in Europe and the United Kingdom are for private payers, that health systems like the NHS, they negotiate the prices. That's much different. What we're talking about is the people that don't have health insurance coverage that will cover it by the NHS or in the United States. From my research, I find that the majority of companies, insurance companies in the U.S., they don't cover weight loss using GLP-1 medications because of the cost. Now, on X or Twitter, Eli Lilly kind of touts this, well, we lowered the price on insulin down to $35. Yeah, but wasn't that with a lot of pressure from the government to do that? Because it's been very high for how many years that you've really taken advantage of people that need insulin? So they lower it, but then they want to brag, well, we lowered it to $35. Yeah, you lowered it because the government put pressure on you to do so. Same thing with now you talking about, oh, well, we have to raise prices elsewhere because we want to make it a more fair playing field, which is what the Trump administration has said, that it's unfair that Americans are paying more and Europeans are paying less. But the thing is, you don't raise it in Europe. The idea is to lower it in the United States. I mean, we have, over 330 million people? And obesity is a big crisis. And obesity leads to other medical problems, heart attacks, high blood pressure, type 2, type 1 diabetes. It's just a precursor. And the thing is, the food that's sold in the U.S., I don't think goes through the stricter guidelines as it does in Europe. They don't have the high fructose corn syrup and everything you can pick up off on the shelf. The manufacturers tout, sugar-free or low sugar. Yeah, but high fructose corn syrup is a sugar. It gets processed in the liver just like sugar, and it's not good for you. Sugar just increases your appetite, makes you want to eat more. How many times have you had a snack and like a half hour later, you're ready for another snack? You get a boost. You know, people go to work and they've had breakfast. They get to work and there's donuts there, so they have a donut. Then 2 hours later, an hour later, they're looking for something out of the snack machine because they're crashing from the sugar. They want that boost back up again to get the energy. And a lot of the food in the United States has a lot of sugar in it. If you look on the package of a lot of the processed foods, it's mainly the processed foods. That, you're okay buying, fresh fruits, vegetables, meat, chicken, fish. It's the things on the inside of the supermarket or grocery store or the shop where you're finding the hamburger helper and the rice-a-roni and the soup loaded with sugar and fat and the sugar, and sugar comes in more forms than just sugar. If you look at the package, you'll see it by other names, and it's still sugar. Maltodextrin, high fructose corn syrup, saccharin, or dextrose, maltose. It's all sugar, and that boosts your appetite. And manufacturers have found that out. If you add sugar and salt to a lot of the foods, it makes people crave more. Have you ever sit down and you have a bag of crisps or chips and you eat one or two and they're salty, maybe salty and sweet? You eat one or two, and then before you know it, the bag's empty. It's empty. You're watching TV, there's a football game on, a soccer game on, and you're just like out of habit, eating, because it tastes good. It's good to the mouth feel. Same thing with ice cream. You get ice cream. It's loaded with sugar or artificial sugars or, the different forms of sugar. And you get a bowl of it and you eat it and you figure, well, I'll just have one bowl. It's okay. I've like a half a gallon or a container here of ice cream, but I'll just have a small bowl. You eat the small bowl. And then a little bit later you think, well, maybe I'll just have a couple more spoons. Before you know it, the thing is empty. You've trashed it. You've emptied the whole thing out. And that's what's happening here. We've got an obesity crisis. It's really widespread in the United States. And a lot of it is due to fast food. Some people are trying to work 2-3 jobs. They have families, taking kids to soccer. They're very busy. So it's easy to stop by McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A. And a lot of the food at the fast food is loaded with oils, some of them not so good oils. And, it's raining here. You hear that in the background? Our farmers will be happy and our lawns will be happy. It's been very dry here in Illinois, so it looks like we're getting some nice rain. This is good. And in England, they've had really a dry, hot summer in England also. I was just there about a month ago, and it was hot. It's comparable to the weather we were having in Chicago in the 80s and the 90s. And when you talk about centigrade and Fahrenheit, we're talking like 90 in the U.S., and I think in England, maybe it's in the upper 30s, 35 degrees Celsius. But it's hot. And one of the benefits we do have in the U.S. is we have a lot of things air conditioned that they don't have in the U.K. because normally it's unusual. Now we've got the global warming going on, which is adding to the heat, and we've had hotter summers, I believe, and we'll have to see what happens in the winters. But there's a lot of different climate things going on. But going back to the food part of it here, what I do is I'm trying to eat low carb and mainly eating like meats, fish, poultry, and eat veggies and salads. That's the best because it's low carb. It doesn't trigger, like your insulin to spike it, and helps people lose weight. They have ketosis, which is a form of keto to lose weight, and it's been helpful for a lot of people. But like for me, I did keto, but I still had the hunger, and that's what the Mounjaro does for me. It helps me feel full faster, so I can eat. Like for lunch today, I had a piece of salmon, I had about 4 cherry tomatoes, I had about 4 cheese cubes, and I had some green beans. And so that's not high in carbs, really. It's good in protein. You have to eat your protein, drink a lot of water. To go over my results, I lost 2 pounds last week, which I'm pretty happy with. They say that's normal. If you lose a pound or two a week, that's healthier than losing 5 or 10 pounds in a week. That's just too much. Now, we'll have to see what happens with the prices. I have not seen any announcement from Eli Lilly about that they're lowering the price in the U.S. because they're raising it in England. And I know India's starting to sell it too. They got permission, but I think they're paying like $100 a month. How are they getting away paying $100 a month in India then? And Lilly's saying that they want to make it uniform all around the world. And a lot of people have coverage through health insurance. The U.S., very few companies do. Even people that have type 2 diabetes struggle to get coverage. They may have to go to other types of medications, metformin and different things like that. Now, I believe if they came down on the price, it would afford more people to be able to afford it, which they would be buying more, and their profits would be going up from more people buying it. Now, what I'm seeing in England is a lot of people online are saying, I can't afford $330 a month. I was paying, like 180 or 200 in US dollars, like starts out about 122 pounds. And as the doses increase, the price increases. But people can't afford it. So they're talking about either just getting off of it and you can gain the weight back, or doing a thing like going to lower dosage, or trying to stretch out the medication and do half a dose a week instead of a full dose. There's 60 clicks on the pen they use in the United Kingdom. So if you don't click 60 clicks and do 30, you're getting half of a dose. So in that way, people are trying to do it to get 2 months out of a pen rather than one pen lasting 1 month. A lot of people have said they can't afford it. They're either going to discontinue, or they're looking into Wegovy. Now, in the UK so far, the prices for Wegovy haven't been announced to go up. So that's what I think a lot of people are going to do in the United Kingdom, is go to Wegovy. I believe the results are not as dramatic. I think Mounjaro, a lot of people can get a difference of 22% of the weight off with Mounjaro, and I think it's a little bit lower with Wegovy, maybe like 18 to 20%, which if you're going to save a lot of money and pay about half, I mean, it makes sense to switch to Wegovy. It's going to help you, and it's more affordable. Because, I mean, there's a financial crisis in the U.S. and in the United Kingdom. I mean, they have high energy costs, and a lot of costs of living are going up. In the U.S., inflation is going up, believe it. So anyway, I lost 2 pounds last week. I'm staying positive. So far, I've been going to England to get my medications because I used to work for an airline, and I do have privileges to fly space available. So far, that's been working out. I've tried to order some more, and I'm waiting to see that order come through. I have relatives in England, which is very beneficial. They're wonderful. They give me so much support. They're so loving. I mean, it's amazing. It's wonderful. Anyway, I thank you very much. I thank you for joining me, and you have a great day, and keep fighting to lose weight. Thank you.